Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati uttamashloke Bhaktir bhavati neshtiki Ārādhyo Bhagavan vrajeshatanaya Stadhama vrindavanam Ramya kachitupasana vrajavadhu Vargena va kalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu Matamidam Tatradharana Para Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 10, Chapter 42, entitled The Breaking of the Sacrificial Bow. Krishna and Balaram are in Mathura, and we have read their meeting with different personalities. And just lastly, we were reading that how they broke the bow which was worshipped by Kamsa. Not only they broke the bow, they took the pieces of the bow and started destroying the Kamsa's people or his soldiers. And then they came back to their grounds, there where their carts were kept, and they slept peacefully. They slept peacefully, but one personality was not so peaceful, and that was Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj was in great anxiety, and we discussed why was he in great anxiety? Because his children has destroyed Kamsa's people, right? Like going to his house and killing his people with his weapon. That's Krishna. Nanda was in anxiety. And today we're also going to understand the previous lives of some of the personalities we read. It's from the Bhagavatam Subodhini. Very nicely. I just came across in the appendix, so I thought we'll cover that today. But let's see what happens further from text 26 onwards. It's just a quick background I provided in the last minute or so. Kamsastu dhanusho bhangam rakshinam swabalasya cha vadham nishamya govinda rama vikriditam param dirgha prajara dirgha prajagaro bhito dhurni mittani durmatai bahuni achalosho at bahuni achastobhyatha mrityordaktya karani cha. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Wicked King Kamsa, on the other hand, was terrified, having heard how Krishna and Balaram had broken the bow and killed his guards and soldiers, all simply as a game. Khel khel mein maar diya. He remained awake for a long time, and both while awake and while dreaming, he saw bad omens, messengers of death. Hare Krishna. So he started to see bad omens. Jagte sote. In the dream, he's seeing bad omens. While awake, he's seeing, in short, he's seeing that this Kal is here. He's going to be dead because the people who were, his cherished possession, the sacrificial bow, was like destroyed like chutki mein. And Krishna used left hand. We read that. He used his left hand to destroy to break the bow. So let's see. There are some additional notes here. Vishnachari Thakur says, after hearing that killing of his guards and troops was merely the sport of Krishna and Balaram, and not any display of prowess, Kamsa saw many signs like messengers of his impending death, both while waking and sleeping. As we sow, so shall we reap, right? So even in chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, we see Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, they were seeing the omens, right? Chapter 1, acronym doubt. Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, ominous, they were seeing different omens that they will be killed and Pandavas will be victorious. So, what all bad omens? We will see shortly. Next verse. They're all together. There are 4 verses together. Anyone wants to read? Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And open my mic, Prabhuji. Adharshanam sva-shirasah pratirupe cha satyapi asatyapi dvitiye cha dvairupyam joshitam tata chitra pratitish chayayam pranabhosanu vashrutihi swarna pratithe rukesheshu swapadhanam adarshanam स्वप्ने प्रेतपरिस्वङ्गः कारायानं विषाधनं यायान्नदध माल्येखस्तैलाभ्यक्तो दिगम्बरः अन्यानि चेतहं भूतानि स्वप्नजागरितानि च पश्यन् मरणसन्त्रष्टो निद्रां लेभेन चिन्तय. Translation by Śrīla Prabhupada disciples, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. When he looked at his reflection, he could not see his head. For no reason, the moon and stars appeared double. He saw a hole in his shadow. He could not bear the sound of his live air. Trees seemed covered with a golden hue, and he could not see his footprints. He dreamt that he was being embraced by ghosts, riding a donkey and drinking poison, and also that a naked man smeared with oil was passing by wearing a garland of Nalada flowers. Seeing these and other such omens, both while dreaming and while awake, Kamsa was terrified by the prospects of death, and out of anxiety, he could not sleep. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, all the omens he is seeing, and he's getting fear of his death. Hare Krishna.
People, thank you so much. Any other thoughts, comments anyone has in this connection? Read something from this book. So what all? Okay, who recollects some of the inauspicious omens? Let's see. We just read. Can you recollect? Please recite. 1 or 2 each. We just read. Come on, help me.
What is the question, Prabhuji?
Kamsa saw some inauspicious omens, right? Which these verses are talking about.
Yes, yes.
Give me a 1 or 2. Everyone try to give me something. Name one.
He Yeah, he can't see his footprints, Prabhuji.
He can't see his footprints. Okay. Yes. Okay, what
He
else?
was seeing a hole in his shadow.
Couldn't see his head in his reflection or shadow. Okay.
He saw a naked man running with oil smeared on his body, wearing some garland, I think.
Yeah, of Nalada flowers. Okay. Riding a donkey. He was riding a donkey. Couldn't see his footprints, right? Drinking poison.
He saw that ghosts were hugging him.
Ghosts were hugging. Okay, nice. Any other?
He could not hear the sound of his life air breathing. Yeah.
Nice. So these inauspicious omens described in these 3 verses, the reflection was headless. Imagine if we see our reflection in the mirror and there is no head, how will we feel? Right? We'll feel terrified, right? What's going on? We see ourselves in the mirror for putting tilak or combing hair or whatnot. There's no head, imagine. The moon and the other planets appear double. Do dikh rahe. Moon, 2 moons, 2 stars, two suns. Not hear his prana ghosha. Prana ghosha is heartbeat. He couldn't feel that when covering his ears with his palms. So when you feel, you can feel the heartbeat, right? Duck, 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 because the sound travels in the solid. Trees appeared golden in color. There are some auspicious omens and there are some inauspicious omens as per the Vedic science. These are all considered inauspicious omens. Basically, death was near him. And because Kṛṣṇa came in the form of the AI generated a picture also, interesting picture. Let's see if we can point out what all we can point to. Moons, no head in the reflection, right? Donkey, he was riding on the donkey, ghosts were following the naked man with none of the flowers. Anything else here? See, the picture tells 1,000 words. So now we won't forget all these omens. He was terrified of the prospect of death and could not sleep. So there's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavatam, Kamsad Dveshad. Anyone recalls that? Gopa Kama. Let me search that. Gopa Kama Kamsa Dveshad. Let's see if you can pull it up. Yes, I found it. I would like to read this verse. This is from the 7th canto, important verse, where Narad Muni meets Yudhishthira Maharaj. Anyone wants to read this verse? This is connected here. Yes, Sri Devi Radhika Mataji, want to try?
Gopyaha kama bhayadayat kanso Dvesha choda dayo nrapaha sambandh dadhu vrishnayaha sneha dhuyam bhaktaya vayam vibhuho. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear King Yudhishthira, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fear, Shishupal and other kings by envy, and Yadus by their familial relationship with Krishna. You Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you so much. So Bhayat Kamsa, that's the key word here. And that's the connection. Kamsa bhai se, itna bhai, it was terror. Din raat, no, he could not sleep. Pure devotees, they cannot sleep because they are thinking of Krishna in loving devotional service. Not out of terror, not out of fear, not out of punishment. But here, yenikin prakarin mana Krishna niveshan. But we also know that we should think of Krishna in a favorable way. That is Uttama Bhakti. Which verse tells us that? Very famous verse. We should think of Krishna in a favorable way, and that is the topmost Bhakti.
Anukulas is, oh no, that's a Uttam Krishna Anushilanam, how it starts. Bhakti Uttama.
Sarvadharman Parityaja Prabhuji.
No, it starts at
Anukulyasya
Krishna.
Sankalpa, Pratikulyasya Varjana. Right.
No. The line is like that, Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Uttama, but I forgot that, the Inish first line.
Anukulyasya Krishnānushīlanam bhaktiruttama. You're referring to that verse?
Yes, Prabhu, I was just repeating that words.
That's a very important verse from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Yeah, it's Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Anyabhilashita Shunyam Gyan Karmadi Anavritam Anukulayan Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama.
Yes. Anyabhilashitashan. Very nice, Mataji. So that's the verse which pure devotees aspire to think of Krishna in a favorable way, like Mother Yashoda, thinking of serving, making preparations, protecting Krishna. That is Vrindavan Bhav. Not asking what Krishna can do for me, but what I can do for Krishna. That is the mood of Vrindavan. That is the highest mood. That is the mood of the gopis. So here, Kamsa could not sleep. And we discussed, you remember? Discussed the 10 symptoms of how the Kama or the Cupid affects Cupid. And that also, one of those was sleeplessness. Cupid means attachment to something. When it is so attached to position, our body, oh, this is going to kill me, oh, this is going to usurp my position, then person loses sleep, anxiety, stress. And that was what Kamsa was also experiencing in all these, what we see. Prahlad Maharaj was seeing Krishna everywhere, day and night, but in a favorable way. Yato Narsimha Parato Yarsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha. He's also seeing Krishna, right? While dreaming and while awake. This is a very elevated state. Imagine being 24/7 Krishna conscious, but in a way to kill him. But as Narad Muni is suggesting here, not here, here, that they attain the mercy of Lord. And of course, we know that they were Jagai Madai in come as demons. Okay, next verse. Priti Mataji, you want to read? Anyone else in a position to read?
I'll try to.
Yes, Mataji, please.
I actually on phone, so it's hard to see. But okay.
That helps.
Yeah, it's 20. Okay.
32.
Okay,
Better?
32. Yes. Vishtayam nisi kauravya surya chodbhya samuttita samuttite karayam asha vaikamsa mallakrida mahotsavam. Translation by disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the night had finally passed and sun rose up again from the water, Kans set about arranging for the grand wrestling festival. So yeah, this is the festival. I think this is why Kansa called Krishna and Balram invited to do this wrestling festival. So this is a nature of the demon. They are trying many times, and they're defeated by Krishna many times. But still, there is a hope. We say that chew being chewed, hope against hope. So he was just thinking that maybe this time I'm gonna win. Maybe this time I'm gonna win. So this is the nature of a conditioned soul also, because we are thinking that. Maybe this time in the material world we can find some happiness, and we try to make the arrangement where Krishna already says that when he made this material world, and he says that this is a place of a misery and it is a temporary place, but still souls are trying to make and find happiness in a wrong place, and that's what comes, and this is a demon mentality which is showing Kamsa is here. Yeah, yes, bro.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Krishna Chakravarti Thakur is quoting a beautiful verse. When the night broke and the sun rose from the water. The poetic sun rose from the water. Like if you go to sometimes in an ocean and you see sunrise, it appears sun is coming from the water. Sunrise refers to a Vedic verse. Ya Udgan Mahato Arvindad Arnavad. Arnava, water. Vibhra Jamanaha Salilasya Madhyad Sama Vrishabho Lohitaksha Suryo Vipaschim Manasa Punatu. May the red-eyed, most excellent, omniscient sun rising up from the great ocean purify the universe. Nice verse while seeing the sun. May the sun rising purify the universe. Also means, this is a nice verse, and you are like opening the deity curtain, temple, waking them up. Jai Jai Kripamoy Jagatera Nath Sarva Jagatera Koro Shubha Drishtipat. Jai Jai Kripamoy, O Lord, O merciful Kripamoy, Jagatera Nath, you're the Lord of the universe. Jai Jai Kripamoy, Jagatera Nath. Sarva Jagater, सभी जगत पे क्या करो? सर्व जगतेर करो शुभ दृष्टिपात. In short, open your eyes, give your merciful Shubha Drishti, auspicious glances upon the entire world. Very nice verse, can sing as you are opening the temple curtains, etc. Jai Jai Kripamoy Jagatera Nath Sarva Jagatera Koro Shubha Drishtipat. Very nice verse. It's very similar to Uthi Uthi Gopala Arunodayo Jhala Nanda ke Dulala. His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj sings this very beautifully. Uthi uthi, uthi uthi Gopala. Arunodaya. The red color is what we see first, right? The red color of Aruna. Who is Aruna?
Sun. Chariot driver of Surya.
And his color is red.
Red.
So therefore we see the red first. Because the chariot driver, is seen first. So here, the night was over and the next day started. And Kamsa, he could hardly sleep because day and night he was like thinking. And he had already planned this diplomatic idea that these heavyweight champions, wrestlers are going to be fighting. If somehow Krishna and Balaram come here, they're going to be facing these people. So we'll see what happens further in the following verses.
I was, can I say something, Prabhu?
Yeah, please, Mataji.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you are talking, okay, quite. When you're talking about that the sun purifies, similarly, remembrance of Krishna purifies everything, right? Like the verse you are referring from the 7th canto. It says that like there's a very beautiful verse in Bhagavatam, 12th canto. Avismrita Krishna Padara Vindyo Shinoti Abhadrani cha samtanoti Sattvasya Suddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Jnanam cha Vijnana Viragi Yuktam. So when the remembrance of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys that 7 effects is talking about this verse, is that it destroys everything inauspicious and avoids good fortune. It purifies the heart and bestow the devotion for the Lord. And that devotion is not just a knowledge is with realization and then renunciation. So yeah, I mean, we are talking about Kansa here. So Kansa is remembering Krishna. Sishupal is remembering Krishna in a animical way, right? That's not a pure devotion. It's not. But still, anyway, as you are also mentioning, Yen Ken Prakarin, Mana is Krishna, Mana Krishna. So it's like, however, if you remember Krishna, so it will like sun, there is no distinction, right? There is no distinction. Sun is not saying that, oh, this is an atheist person, I'm not going to give the light to that house, or this is like a filthy place, so I'm not going to. He is equal to everyone. And so similarly, Krishna's name is, so Krishna is so merciful. We say that Krishna is Karuna Sindhu. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu. So he make no distinction. Okay, but this is a demon and he's remembering me in enemy. But this is the beauty of Krishna's heart, that he shows always good for the jivas. We say that Krishna is like ever willing, ever working, and ever waiting. So yeah, that is the nature of the merciful Lord. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful verse. Very nice. Would you like to hear about the past lives of some of these people we just read recently?
Yes, please. I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given that, right?
Yes, probably. So this is I'm reading from the Bhagavad Subodhini. So washermen, we recently read about in the previous chapter, right? The washerman, the weaver, and the florist. Read about Kubja. So this is about washerman. Even in his previous birth, I think we discussed the story. He been a washerman in Ayodhya, the kingdom of Lord Ram. He had criticized Lord Ram for accepting Sita Devi, who, kidnapped by Ravana, had stayed in Ravana's kingdom for a year. Lord Ram considered that just as this washerman had criticized him now, bad kings in the future might also criticize Ram and Sita. To avoid this misunderstanding, Ram had sent Mother Sita to Valmiki Muni's ashram. Although he and his dear devotees knew beyond doubt the chastity and purity of Mother Sita. This is from Garg Samhita, it seems. GS 510.3. This we read, the washerman. So the weaver now. Who was the weaver? Anyone knows? In his past life, the weaver had been a tailor in Mithila, in the city of King Janaka, the father of Sita Devi. He was a great devotee. He made very fine garments for Ram and Lakshmana to wear on their wedding day. So he was a tailor. So washerman was a washerman, but a bad guy. And he became a bad guy here too. Tailor was a tailor, weaver, made the garments on the wedding day. Seeing Ram and Lakshmana more handsome than millions of cupids, the noble-hearted weaver desired to place the garments on the two lords with his own hands. All-knowing Lord Ram, in his heart, blessed the desire of the weaver, who thus took birth in Mathura. Now he offered cloth ornaments for Kṛṣṇa and Balaram and dressed them himself, and then he attained the divine form like theirs. So Sayuja Mukti. So he had a desire, right? Probably, he was an ordinary tailor. Ram and Lakshman were king. His desires were not fulfilled, right? He wanted to do with his own hands. So Krishna and Balram fulfilled his desire. The florist, Sudama. In the previous life, Sudama had been a florist named Hema Mali. Hema Mali. Mali is florist, gardener. In the Chaitra Ratha gardens of Kuvera, the treasure of the Devatas. Hema Mali. He was peaceful, generous, respectful to saints, and devoted to the Supreme Lord. For 5,000 years, he worshipped Lord Shiva daily with 300 lotuses. I repeat that. Daily with 300 lotuses for 5,000 years. He was worshipping Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was very pleased upon him, offered a boon. Hemamali asked Shiva to bless him with the opportunity to see Lord Kṛṣṇa enter his home. See? Lord Shiva said that his desire would be fulfilled in Mathura at the end of Dwapar Yuga. To keep Lord Shiva's promise, Kṛṣṇa and Balaram now came to Sudama's home. Sudama the florist. So he was who? Hemamali, gardener, florist in the gardens of Kuvera. Imagine for 5,000 years he was offering 300 lotuses. Lotuses are not easy. Next, Kubja. Who knows who was Kubja? This is quite famous personality. Kubja was Shurpanakha, the sister of the demoniac king Ravana. When Lord Ram was in Panchavati forest during his exile, she fell in love with him. So Shurpanakha fell in love with or lust. Ram had vowed to accept only one wife. However, and he didn't accept Shurpanakha. So Shurpanakha tried to devour Sita Devi. Lakshmana quickly cut off her ears and nose with his sword. So the place Nasik, that comes from the word Nasika. Nasika means nose. तो जहाँ शूर्पणखा की नोज गिरी वो जगह बनी नासिक. So it's near that place where this episode happened. So her love refused. Shurpanakha went to Pushkar Tirtha, wishing to get Lord Ram as her husband. Wow, that's interesting. So she went to Pushkar. She stayed underwater and meditated on Lord Shiva for 10,000 years. Wow. When Shiva approached before her, she asked him to grant her the blessing of getting Sri Ram as her husband. Lord Shiva said that her desire would be fulfilled in Mathura city at the end of Dwapar Yuga. Lord Ram, so many pending desires of this devotee, Gopi, and Shurpanakha, and Krishna comes. Okay, wholesale, all desires fulfilled, right? जो भी pending quota है, I'll fulfill. The rishis of Dandakaranya, they also became gopis. So Lord Shiva also gave a blessing to Shurpanakha, that your desires will be fulfilled in the end of Dwapar Yuga. By Lord Shiva's blessing, she now became Lord Krishna's beloved. And we will see after this whole things happen. Yes, Mataji?
Sorry, Prabhu, disturb. So after this, like in Ramayana only, after Ramayana she went and she did this tapasya.
The exact, it seems so. I'm also, to be honest, hearing this first time, reading this first time. This is bona fide stuff. Yeah. This is from Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's book, Bhagavad Subodhini. Yes. So this is in the appendix towards the end. Otherwise, I would have read it, while we were reading. So short answer, yes. These yogas are quite big, as we know. Treta Yoga, quite big. So, and we don't hear like where did Shurpanakha go? After she narrated the episode to Ravana, like his role is gone from Ramayana. Do we hear anything afterwards? Like he torturing Sita, or he like tormenting, like he coming anywhere in the picture. I don't recollect any story. Maybe, my knowledge is very limited, but I don't recollect anywhere after she narrated this whole thing to Ravana, which was a plan of the divine also in one way, because he got attracted to Mother Sita through lust, and then but Shurpanakha is out of picture. So probably she went where? To Pushkar Tirtha and started doing tapasya for 10,000 years. And please, Lord Shiva, underwater. Imagine. Underwater she was doing tapasya. And then she became Kubja in the next life. Nice. There are other demons also in this chapter, like in this previous chapter, Shankachuda, Arishtasura, Keshi, etc. These are all from Garga Samhitas. Yes. Great great spiritual literatures like Garga Samhita and Brahma Vaivar Purana describe those incidents in the previous life. Who were they? So I covered the ones we recently read: washerman, weaver, florist, and Sudama. Once we read the wrestlers and Kuvalyapida and all, we will read those sections also. Any thoughts, comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. I was thinking about that. Like every story has a previous life based on that desire. They will have different pastime. So one thing, Prabhuji, when we are reading Kubja story, we heard that like she's the expansion of Satyabhama or Bhudevi Prithvi. So now we are hearing here it says Surpanakha comes as the Kubja. So I just want to understand like how this is the Shakti expansion. So like how we need to understand, Prabhu. Can you please give some light on that?
How we can understand, see, in the previous role, we know that even Kamsa, in one way, like he was acting like a demon, right? In the heart, he is a devotee. He is doing a transcendental drama to orchestrate the Leela. So there is some divine connection for sure to teach us lessons, and it's historical and it's contextual both. And when the expansion of Satyabhama, then they are coming in the purified form. That's my understanding. Their anarthas have been purified. No one is eternally condemned. She did tapasya, and by the mercy of great souls and her devotion and her desire to be with Lord Ram was very intense, and Lord Krishna fulfilled that. And in one way, everyone is Jivara Sarup Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. So in one way, the energies, they are spreading or coming from Sri Radhika, and then Satyabhama, and then other gopis, other souls. Any other thoughts anyone else wants to add here?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
There are some other demons also. If you want to hear, I can share. Arishtasur, Shankachuda, Keshi. We have read this. This came earlier. Keshi and Vyomasura. Keshi and Vyomasura were the last ones to be killed in. Who's going to complete that? Keshi and Vyomasura were the last ones to be killed in
Vrindavan.
Vrindavan. Yes. Next day comes Akrura to take them. So they were told on the same day, you guys go. Keshi and Vyomasura took airlines. They came early, the end, and Akrura came by roadways. So usko thoda time lag gaya, and his job was different. So you see, Kamsa already knew that these people are going to fail anyway, so you bring them. Interesting. Keshi demon. Oh, sorry, Keshi, it was a different demon, I think. So Vyomasura, let's hear about Vyomasura. You want to hear his previous life? He was a great king named Bhimaratha who lived in the city of Varanasi. He performed many sacrifices, respected everyone, gave profuse charity, and above all was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. That's interesting here. So he was a king named Bhimaratha. Very great devotee, gave charity, very nice, pious king, respected brahmanas. After some time, he gave his kingdom to his son and went to Malay Hills. Malay Hills, when we say, it's referring to like Malaysia. The word Malaysia comes from Malay or Chandan. Accompanied by his disciples, and he performed austerities for 100,000 years. Who performed austerities at Malay Hills?
Bhimaratha.
Bhimaratha, Vyomasura in his previous life. So one day Pulatsya Muni, accompanied by his disciples, came to Bhimaratha's hermitage, but Bhimaratha neither stood up nor bowed down to greet his guest. Something like we see in the story in Bhagavatam.
Parishit Maharaj.
And who was that saint who didn't?
Shungi caste is the father. Shamik Rishi.
Shamik Rishi, yes. So Parishit went to the hermitage of Shamik Rishi. He was busy in his tapasya and his austerity. He didn't bow down or greet. But of course, that was a transcendental arrangement. It was not out of pride, but he was just absorbed, so much absorbed. We discussed that pastime recently. Now, Pulatya Muni, seeing the pride of Bhimaratha, cursed him to become a demon. The king then fell at sage's feet and begged forgiveness. Then Pulasya said, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, in the area of Vraja, the strength of the arms of Lord Kṛṣṇa will liberate you. Thereafter, King Bhimaratha became the son of demon Mayasura, and then the power of Lord Krishna's arm gave him liberation. Interestingly, Vyomasura represents pride. Pride due to spiritual practices, especially. Spiritual practices may also give pride. Oh, I give better at class. Oh, I know more verses. Oh, my prasadam is better than you. Or, right? I am a better, my Rajbhoga cooking is better than you, or I move Aarti in better circles than you. I get up earlier than you. All this can lead to pride also. And this is the last to go. Therefore, this was the last demon. Interesting. So, Vyomasura, Kubja, washerman, weaver, and the Hemamali, the florist Sudama. We read about their previous lives as well in this. So we have one more, we can say, section which we can complete tomorrow. What happened, so the arrangements, and then we'll get ready for WrestleMania. A match is going to happen soon. We're going to enter the venue tomorrow and see the preparations and see the fight tomorrow. Any comments, thoughts, questions before we wrap up for the day? Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow, same day, same time. Sorry, yes, Mataji was saying something?
No, I was saying, Prabhuji, every demon represents every anarthas also. In our, so yeah, we say that how we can remove our anarthas. Like a demon is like, anarthas are like demons, right? So yeah, excuse me, I'm just, yeah, yeah, this is what.
Thank you, Mataji. Anartha. What's the etymology? How do we break this down?
You're saying anartha?
Hmm.
Yeah, anartha. Artha means something valuable, right? An means something unwanted, which has no value. But we keep watering these anarthas. We have in I'm talking about myself, that we have so much value of these anarthas. So that's why chanting is important. That we can keep praying to the Lord that I'm not able to do that, but you help me to get out of these anarthas. So as like Kṛṣṇa kills the demons, so Kṛṣṇa come in our heart and kill the demon-like anarthas.
Yes, these don't have value in spiritual world. In material world, they may, no, people may embrace, oh, you should have, people with that pride or people with that arrogance, and sometimes they're respected. But really, the place which is our real home, Vrindavan, Gokul Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, these are unwanted things. So we need to work on these to spiritual purification, chanting, and other limbs of bhakti, and sadhu sangha. Therefore, these demons are teaching that these qualities are not dear to Krishna, and how we can work to purify, to uplift ourselves. Thank you. Yes, Radhika, Mataji, you were saying something?
Prabhu, I was just thinking that even to get the mercy, like how much austerity they were performing. Doing 16 rounds means like for us it becomes so difficult with attention, not even a single alphabet we utter with full attention. And to get the mercy, they were also doing austerity for many, many years. So I was just thinking like Prabhupada gave us easy way, still it is difficult for us.
Yes. Actually, in one of the purports, Prabhupada quotes the tapasya which Dhruva performed standing on one leg. Practically, he was like in the later months, he was just breathing once a day. Once in like 5, 6 days he was, or once in a month, something like that. He continued to increase the magnitude and the severity of his tapasya. Like first kandamul, then such water, and then he was like breathing once in few days. Like, can we imagine? But Prabhupada mentions the same benefit one can get by sincerely practicing bhakti in the very home, in the very city they are. So that's our hope. And of course, Kali Yuga is short. Manda sumanda madayo. Spiritual inclination is little. Age is short. Body is weak. So if we do our best based on Guru Sadhu Shastra, we can get the same result, or the higher result actually.
So there is a Prabhu, there is a thing that we see that the demons are doing very big austerity. Mataji's point was really valid. That there's a, and on in the other words, as you're mentioning the Dhruva Maharaj, but their intention is different. Although it both starts with the desires, but we say that, by doing austerity, also the demons not get purified by going through the process, because there we say that the devotion done in the different modes of nature, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and ignorance. So, but in Dhruva Maharaj, anyhow, he was worshipping Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. He takes shelter of Lord Vishnu. And by the process of worshipping and doing their austerity, he got purified. But if you take shelter of any other demigods and thing, that purification will not gonna happen. So the intention is very important. What intention? And Prabhupada has mentioned this verse. I think this verse is quoted by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was saying that Aradhito yadi haris tapasa tatah kim. न आराधितो यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम अंतर्बहिर यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम nantar bahir yadi haristapasa tatah kim. So basically, this verse is saying that if one is worshipping the Lord properly, then what is the use of these severe penances? And if one is not properly worshipping the Lord, so what is the use of severe penances? So Krishna can be realized within and without, that is, everything exists. So what is of? He is saying that Tata Kim. If you are not worshipping Hari, so what is the use of this doing this austerity and penances? Because ultimately, what is the goal? What was that verse? That Smritra, I- um, I mean,
Smartam Shrutam Vishnu.
Smartyam Vishnu, yeah, that verse is. So, goal is to always remember Krishna. And if one can always remember Krishna, then what is the use of doing these penances and austerities? And if one do this and he not remembering Lord, then again, what is the use of this? So basically, that if one can seek Kṛṣṇa, and also as a devotees, they do some austerities. Bhagavad Gita is talking about the austerities, austerity of mind, austerity of speech, austerity of body. So he's saying that what kind of austerity a devotee should perform. So of course that austerity is also we do like fasting and all these things. Uh, so basically the austerity is to mind is the for the austerity of mind is satisfaction. Speech is that, yeah, of course that verse is 17th chapter is talking about all this. I'm not going on all these things, but yeah, these kind of austerities recommended by Prabhupada, and Bhagavad Gita himself, Krishna is talking. So yeah, I mean, just going through and doing a lot of hardship to the body, isn't that recommended? And especially in the, of course, in Kali Yuga. So yeah.
Very well. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so I think it's time. So we'll pause here and continue tomorrow. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha, patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna.